Hi, I'm Renee Yohe of Bearcat, and I'm hanging out with 8747 Productions and Skinny Sumo.
I know we've been here before. I know your heart is very sore, but please, oh please. I called you from the hospital, you didn't pick up the phone. I was left alone with a crazy fish just swimming in their senseless circle.
What's up, everybody? It's Big Bryan here with Renee of Bearcat, and they're here in Salt Lake City, and we're at the complex. We're going to talk to her a little bit today about what life's been like on the road since she's formed a new band. And so let's just get started. How's tour treated you so far?
It's been absolutely amazing. I had no idea what to expect since we've never gone on tour, and we got our tracks I think 3 days before heading out, so we were pretty nervous, but it's been awesome. We've gotten such a good response from everybody. I didn't know what to expect, especially since there were a lot of younger teenage girls like, oh, maybe they're gonna hate my guts or something, but they've been really receptive, and everyone's been really nice. It's been incredible.
What's been your best location so far?
Oh gosh. Man, each one's been really unique. I really loved our last show that we just did in San Francisco.
There you go.
That was probably my favorite. We were the most tight-knit as a band, and our performance was, I think everyone's really was the best there. And yeah, it was an awesome venue. Had a lot of fun there.
All right. So you put together this band Bearcat, and a lot of people out west don't know what a Bearcat is. So will you tell us a little bit of the story behind the name of the band?
Yes. I love flapper lingo, the 20s, and just the mentality of kind of using these nonsensical terms to denote things we think are great. And Bearcat basically means like a feisty or hot-blooded woman, and I thought that fit pretty well, so hence Bearcat.
So you come to music in a totally different perspective than a lot of people. You didn't really come up growing up saying, I want to be a performer. This is what I want to do my whole life. You've been telling a story for a couple of years about your recovery and overcoming and relapsing and overcoming addiction, and you've been out public speaking doing that. You've been doing a whole bunch of different things, but you decided you wanted to change up what you're doing, and so you've put it into words. And how is that story, how is it putting it into words through music? What's the difference doing that and going out and talk to people every night?
I think for me, it's like you said, it's been about 6 years, that my entire life, and I kind of allowed my identity to be formed and solidified as I was the girl from the story, and everything that mattered about me seemed to just be, is she sober or not sober? And it was just kind of, I got to the point where it was just kind of like not redundant in the sense that it didn't matter anymore, but it was just 6 years ago. I'm 25. They say that your story matters, and it continues to matter today. And where I'm at today is a completely different place with a different perspective. And I guess I didn't want to have to be pigeonholed in my past the rest of my life. And yeah, I had a phobia of singing in front of people my whole life. I was like La La Land, maybe I would do it. And I say it a lot that we create out of necessity. And I just realized through giving so much in all my other creative outlets and doing it for other people, I'd forgotten to do stuff for myself. And so deciding to sing was just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna do something that's just for me. I'm gonna feed me and allow myself to experience something that I thought I never could. And yeah.
It's awesome. People have described your voice as this haunting voice that's reminiscent of Zoe from Elf when she sings, and she's also in a couple other things singing. But what's it like to be compared to someone like that?
It's pretty crazy. I think I have a hard time really grasping. There's been such positive responses, and the female vocalists that they've compared me to have just been what the crap? Really? That's amazing. It's really, I would say flattering, but I actually looked it up the other day, and it sounds like it's actually more of a negative term, so I won't say it's flattering. It's very humbling and unexpected, because I don't really tend to like female artists, singers very much. I'm very particular, and those are some of the few that I do like, so it's a huge compliment.
Where are you pulling your inspiration from when you, musically? What are you listening to? If we went into your van right now, what would be on your iPod?
Well, I actually just lost all my music, but I actually have a pretty wide range of different things. Like I grew up listening to Simon and Garfunkel and Johnny Cash and The Lovin' Spoonful and Doris Day, and then, you know, we have Heroes and Villains mixtape, and we've got, you know, what have we been listening to? I don't know, a whole hodgepodge, like from folk to jazz to rap to, I don't know. We were talking about that the other day, like everybody in the band kind of comes from different backgrounds. Like Sean was more like pop rock and punk, and so really challenged him to kind of start writing in a different manner, and like it's just kind of brought this really kind of unique thing of like different things that maybe shouldn't go together, and they do, which I love, because that's kind of, I don't know, like the epitome of what I see in myself is this duality.
Yeah, well, I think anyone that's an engineer, producer, anyone that's a musician has to pull from a very eclectic, you know, range of what they're listening to. Otherwise, you have like a very stagnant sound, and you don't change. And you know, let's face it, music changes all the time. Mm-hmm. There's stuff out now, dubstep. Some people might not like dubstep, but it's definitely in. And your music is, I find it like a definite breath of fresh air. I like how it's not heavy laden with compression and some of the other things that we as engineers sometimes get forced to do. But will you talk about a little bit the studio and that experience for you? Going into the studio, not being an artist your whole life, what was it like stepping behind the microphone for the first time and having this guy say, all right, let it rip?
You know, I was terrified, even just like the writing process. You know, being sent out to LA and kind of like hanging out with different people and just kind of seeing like, you know, I didn't want anyone writing any words for me or doing melodies or anything like that, but I've, you know, no training, I know nothing about any of it, and so that was really fun and really challenging. And then we'd actually written together while I was out, so I kind of had a relationship already built with him. His name's Sean Douglas, and he's incredible. But yeah, it was, I guess, since we were doing it out of his house, it felt a little less like pressure or like it had to be this way or that way. Like it was just more relaxed and felt really natural. And I really loved the fact that like he really pushed me. Like when I first started singing, like I think there was a lot of fear, and you know, I was still so anxious, and so my vocal range wasn't so great, and like I got kind of stuck in my head thinking like, oh, like I sing right about here, and like there's some harmonies and stuff on there that are like way high I never thought I'd ever get to. So it was really fun, and it felt good to be able to kind of, I don't know, have the courage to be like, oh yeah, let me do that again, and I can do better, and like not be afraid to speak up and just own it.
Okay, so what's the name of the album?
We're just gonna do self-titled Bearcat.
Bearcat, and when's it's due out soon?
Yes, I think the new release date that we have is June 5th.
June 5th, it'll be out. And when that gets released, where can people find it?
It will be on iTunes, and then I'm sure a bunch of other places. You can look it up on, I think, www.workinggroupmanagement.com, and also on my Tumblr. I have all the information on there. It's reneeyohe.com. Yeah, we'll be on iTunes, and right now it's kind of a cool thing with the tour that we actually have some of the CDs, and it's going to be the only place to get them until that, so that's kind of cool.
And if you guys out there, again, it's Renee Yohe, but it's spelled Y-O-H-E, so if you're looking for it, it's Renee Yohe. She's with the Yohe with the band Bearcat. They're here tonight. We're excited to see you guys live. They have a phenomenal sound. For anyone that hasn't heard them, again, this is my opportunity to say, hey, you know, you guys all recognize me from all the metal videos we do. A lot of things work with metal bands, and this is definitely a fresh breath of air for us, and it's very different. So thanks for coming out here and driving cross country to share your talent and your ability with people here in Salt Lake.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been a gift, so I'm very grateful to be here, and thank you for having me.
Big Bryan here with 8747 Productions and Skinny Sumo, and we're here, the Complex and SLC, and we're doing it just like we always do. Make sure to go check them out, and we'll see you guys next time.
She said, make me